Blackstone Audiobooks presents Coyote Wind by Peter Bowen. Chapter 1. Du Pré stirred in his sleep. His eyes fluttered, opened. He looked up at the ceiling. He squinted, raised his head, glanced towards the rising light in the east, out the window of Madeline's bedroom. Little spikes of frost reached out from the corners of the wavy old glass. A pebble rattled against the window. Du Pré decided it was not a dream. He slipped from the bed. A warm breath of air, thick with the scent of their bodies, rose from the bed. Madeline's lips bubbled softly. It was as close as she came to snoring. Du Pré looked out toward the street, saw a crooked shadow on the short white picket fence. White hair as skelter as a forkful of hay. Old Bennett C., the fool, the drunken old breed, a singer, once a dancer, old enough to have been most anything outside of town. "Shit," Du Pré whispered, annoyed at coming out of warm sleep for this. It passed. The old man always had a reason for bothering Du Pré, even if it sometimes took Du Pré years to see it. Bennett C. Du Pré could see him long ago dancing in the deserts, his head one day smiling from a platter while the king's wife swirled in silks and scents. Goddamn loony prophets, anyway. "Du Pré," Madeleine, now up on an elbow, rubbing her eyes. "Bennett C.," whispered Du Pré. "I must go out and see what he wants." "Take him a glass of wine," said Madeleine. "Don't tease him." Du Pré shrugged into his clothes, pulled on his boots. One leather mule-ear pull came off with a final chuckling rip. His heel slid down. He walked to the stairs and placed his feet carefully going down. The resinous yellow pine steps creaked 5 times before his boot touched the worn woolen carpet at the bottom. He went to the kitchen, took a jug of cheap white wine from the icebox, poured a big glassful, lit a cigarette, went outside. The old man was shivering, leaned up against the Russian olive tree, his bright old eyes brilliant black in his brown, creased face. Bennett C. nodded, took the wine, and gulped it down. Du Pré waited, respecting the old man. He had been a good friend of Du Pré's grandparents, long dead now. Plastic flowers on their graves, dust ricking in the petals. Du Pré washed them with holy water on saints' days that had been dear to them. "I dreamed of a coyote last night," said Bennett C. "He went up a draw, sat and howled by some people's bones." Du Pré nodded. Bennett C.'s damn riddles. He wished the old fart would come to the point, which was probably $5. "So I just give him the $5 and go back to bed?" No, the old man was not just a pest. "Then you come and sat down on your heels and looked, the old man went on in his slurred coyote French. "But you never saw till the coyote come back and scratch the earth." Now my days got skeletons in them, thought Du Pré. But if the old man go to the police, they throw him in jail for drunk. Me, I look at burn marks on cow asses for part of my living. It's cold out here. Bennett C. cleared his throat, waved the empty glass, looked at Du Pré hopefully. "You have another drink, you go to sleep," said Du Pré. "Madeleine don't mind," said Bennett C. "She's a saint. You could learn from her." Du Pré snorted, shook his head, went back in the house and got the old man another belt. "Some day I find him dead in the frozen mud where he pissed his pants and passed out and stuck there. But for now he's happy." He heard Madeleine on the stairs. She came into the kitchen, her wool robe clutched tight around her against the cold. "He can sleep in the shed," Madeleine said. "You take him the old sleeping bag in the hall there. Also tell him good morning, and when he wakes up, I will make him eat something." Du Pré smiled. Madeleine, she would feed all the earth, soothe its pains and hungers. She was as simple and straightforward and generous as the